Hello, welcome to Business News. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo says that the federal government is committed to exploring all sources of trade and investment in order to boost the country's economy. He was speaking at the trade roundtable tagged Ease of Doing Business in Africa, held between Nigeria and the United States of America. He said government will formulate policies to surmount challenges hindering the diversification of the economy and take the right steps towards controlling issues confronting the nation. The United States Secretary of Commerce, Ms. Penny Pritzker, who led the American delegation, expressed her country's readiness to improve on its trade relations with Nigeria. She also said the strength of Nigeria's economy makes it very difficult for anyone to ignore. Vice President Osinbajo then solicited the support from the U.S. to facilitate the restructuring of the economy. The Central Bank of Nigeria has retained the benchmark interest rate at 11%, rising from its first Monetary Policy Committee meeting of 2016 in the nation's federal capital territory, Abuja. The CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, announced that the 12 members of the committee voted unanimously to keep the rate unchanged. The Apex Bank also held the cash reserve ratio for commercial banks at 20%.
The committee noted the ongoing activities in the informal segments of the foreign exchange market, which led to the stoppage of dollar sales to the borrowed exchange segments, even as the average naira exchange rate remained relatively stable at the interbank segment during the period under review. The exchange rate at the interbank market opened at 197 naira to the dollar and closed at 197 naira with a daily average of 196 naira 99 kobo to the dollar between November 23 and January 11, 2015. The committee underscored the necessity of improving the supply of foreign exchange to the market, especially from autonomous sources. It also reiterated its commitment to maintaining stability in the naira exchange rate.
Well, some fund managers have called for a swift diversification of the economy in order to attract foreign direct investments into Nigeria. Well, the call was made at the 2016 Economic Outlook platform organized by the Capital Market Depository in Lagos. The managers, who are worried about the direction of the economy, also want to see the harmonization of fiscal and monetary policies.
At the GDP of the nation and you break it out, it looks diversified on paper. However, when you look at the government revenues, it's only in one or key areas, and therefore the government revenues also need to be diversified. And how do you achieve those are some of the key discussions that we must have as a nation. And I do believe that one can look at challenges as dark waters. However, if you are given a lemon, try and make a lemonade out of it.
When you implement a market-driven exchange rate, you also need to back it up with creating avenues or windows through which economic agents can invest in the economy. For instance, if we have a policy to concession some of the critical infrastructure we do not have the economic resource to build, and then allow private sector to invest in those sectors, in those areas, it is very likely we are going to attract foreign direct investment into those sectors like railroads, highways, seaports, airports. These are economic resources, these are social resources that have economic values.
The Nigerian equities market ended the day's session in the red zone, pegging the all-share index at 23,832.03. Balaji Akinwale tells us more.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. After 4 straight sessions of positive trade, the Nigerian equities markets turned south today on the back of losses recorded by some market bellwethers. The all-share index lost over half of a percentage point to close at 23,832.03. Market capitalization also decreased to 8.19 trillion naira. Nestle shared earlier gains recorded to lead the day's price losers. The equity finished at 708 naira 85 kobo. It's trailed by Unilever and GlaxoSmithKline. Seplat was the top gainer and is followed by 7up and Cadbury. Bank stocks continue to be the major contributors to market volume, particularly Zenith Bank, Guaranty Trust Bank and FBN Holdings. 142.8 million shares were exchanged by investors in 3,298 deals, valued at 1.64 billion naira. And that's it on the stock market report. I am Bolaji Akinwale.
Thanks a lot, Bolaji. Well, let's move to the markets around the globe now, where the mixed sentiments continue today. Let's see some of the figures. It's a wrap on business news for tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Anne Nwawodo. The rest of the news at 10 continues with Ijoma.
Now, call this a breakthrough in Nigeria's medical experience, and you won't be wrong. The 16 kidney transplants by Zenith Medical and Kidney Center in Abuja for the month of January alone is a success story that the medical team is happy about. The chief urologist of the Kidney Specialist Center, Mr. Prem Kumar, notes the establishment of the Kidney Center is aimed at reducing the number of Nigerians who travel abroad for treatment.
Zenith Medical and Kidney Center is a specialist hospital for kidney transplant. The medical team, comprising of professional urologists and surgeons from Nigeria and abroad, have had a successful kidney transplant for 16 patients this month alone.
It's like every normal surgery, and then before a patient is said you can be a donor, there are certain tests that are being carried out to make sure that, yes, this patient matches the person that is receiving the kidney. We have 6 patients for transplant. We've transplanted 2. They are doing 1 right now, and then we'll have 2 tomorrow.
The chief urologist of this hospital, Mr. Prem Kumar, says their transplant services will reduce medical tourism abroad and restore the health of patients.
Dialysis will not give him a good quality of life. Transplantation will definitely improve the quality, and I think that can be offered. That quality of life is affordable. Here we have found that there is no problem with the skill. The skill is good. The opportunity is not there. So we are trying to provide an opportunity for the citizens of Nigeria, and particularly in Abuja to start with.
Some patients who have gone through transplant in this hospital also attest to the quality of service.
They are good. In fact, just summaries, they are good. So they placed me on drugs and something. Within 2 weeks, I came down to 80 kg. As at the time of surgery, I was 70-something. So on the 7th of November, I had surgery. And I opened my eyes and I was in the intensive care unit. They're very thorough. And when you're not well, when you're sick, the attitude of the doctors and the medical team, medical personnel, the attitude goes a long way, in helping you heal. So the nurses are good. They don't get irritable. When they give you attention, as if you're the only one they know.
It was excellent. I was asleep during the experience, but after that I came through. There was a little bit of pain, but I feel better and much better.
Kidney transplant is a specialized form of medical surgery that replaces a damaged or infected kidney with another that is active and functional.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Guinea's 1-0 victory over Nigeria ends the Super Eagles campaign at the African Nations Championship in Kigali. That's on sports. Just stay with us.